Good morning, everyone. Today we're checking out a brand new video from the one, the only, the Wombu. Now, many of you are probably wondering, wait, Wombu? Well, you've never watched any of his videos before, as far as I can remember. Well, but here's the thing. He's a great guy, makes good videos, and it's good to support other people. Well, I mean, seriously, I love this dude's content, and I do miss a few of the friends he used to have on here. For little bits if you've seen his top 10 Undertale things. But either way, let's just hop in and see his list of the top 5 OG R.E.P.O monsters. What does he mean by OG? Wombu, take it away.
Hi, quick disclaimer. Many of you have probably noticed the OG in the title there. That's because on Halloween, after this video was already mostly edited, an update came out adding a whole 10 new monsters to the game. I would be annoyed at this news undermining my work, but honestly, it kind of just gives me an excuse to talk about this game again sometime next year. So this video is about my favorite pre-Halloween update monsters in R.E.P.O, and y'all can look forward to a worst to best ranking of the new guys sometime in 2026. Assuming they don't add even more monsters by then. Happy holidays, and I hope you enjoy the video.
Retrieve, extract, profit. Oh!
Howdy doody everyone, Wombu here. Nothing came out. Using a litany of assorted doodads, I've crafted a cauldron to contain the perfect spooky stew. The secret ingredient is friendship.
Wombu, can I come out of the soup now?
Hey!
How did you... Jesus Christ! To this
That's
end,
one of his old friends I was just talking about.
I've taken on a challenge. 3 videos covering 3 different comedy co-op horror games released in the same month. If you're watching this post-December 2025, I've hopefully made videos on both Content Warning and Lethal Company alongside this one. But
I actually, don't worry, I already have the Content Warning one ready, but that one will not be going up until Thursday.
But to kick this all off, we're starting with the most recent of the trio. The only one of the 3 to come out this year, courtesy of relatively new Swedish game studio Semiwork. If you don't know R.E.P.O, the gameplay loop is simple. Up to 6 funny little trash can gremlins set out in a big old truck to 4 different procedurally generated spooky locales. Their mission is to retrieve a bunch of different valuables, bring them safely to the extraction point in order to make in-game profit. That's the goal of this operation. There, now you know the acronym too. Complicating this plan, however, are a bizarre group of anomalous monsters and enemies occupying each level. Let's be real, it wouldn't be a horror game if the only thing you had to worry about was me casually destroying $6,000.
Ah, damn it.
Crap. Damn it.
There are 19 of these motherfuckers potentially standing between you, your buddies, and that dosh. And I'm throwing away most of them to narrow down my 5 highlights.
Headman.
What am I listening to?
No rules
Taking
this
the frying pan
I do want to say thank you, and I love you. To you, the patrons who make these videos possible, I'll be showing y'all at the end, and you, the viewers, who always make it worth all the effort.
I'm gonna give you
I
a
am
kiss
here.
that'll really fuck you up.
Oh!
Alright, time to get the show on the road.
Alright.
I really hate to start this list off on a bad note. I swear I like this game, but I will be thoroughly damned if it doesn't have a whole lot of dumb, stupid, dumb gnomes, a baby, a head with hands, nothing. Literally goddamn nothing. We're not gonna see that much dignity on this list because the bar is admittedly a little low. The first guy on here basically just needed to look scary enough to clear it. Yeah, okay. I'll take nerdless rope over here.
Trudge. Damn, that is kind of creepy.
I like Trudge. It keeps things simple. It sees someone, spends 10 minutes getting over to them, and then beats them to death with a stick. And each swing causes a vacuum explosion that pulls in players and items alike. When it gets to attack, it's pretty destructive, but dude is molasses slow, and basically just spends 70% of its time tending to its own aura like a precious garden. It's kind of this funny dynamic where you don't need to care about it that much, but if you accidentally don't care about it a little too hard, you're one fell swoop away from friendlessness or lifelessness. Despite that, I'm usually happy to see Trudge, though. Every now and then you might lose everything to it, but most of the time, pretty chill to work around. It's like that one friend who knows you well and gives really blunt feedback. Okay, I'm dog shit. Message received.
Okay, next up.
Nothing.
Oh, hidden. Yeah,
You guys
kind of
remember
see
nothing, right? From that one time? Literally, goddamn none. We're not gonna see... Yeah. Good times.
Come
So this is
on.
gonna be fun to edit, because I could just put gameplay footage of whatever's going on, and I can, like, zoom in on something as if there's literally anything to notice, but there isn't.
We're not
There's
gonna
nothing
see
there.
it.
Real talk, though, this particular creature is known as the Hidden. Its appearance cannot be perceived, and neither can its agenda. Most of the guys in this game just want you and your buddies gonzo. But Hidden is a weird little freak. It picks you up,
He's over in the
breathes
corner.
all over you, and puts you somewhere else. That's it. Kinda harmless on its own, but so oddly detrimental regardless.
jeez.
Once you're picked up, unless your friends can grab you, you're just at its whims. Whatever you were doing before doesn't matter. It's on the ground now, possibly in pieces. You're going where the Hidden wants you to go. And maybe that's across the map, maybe that's 2 rooms over, or maybe that's towards imminent death, like a big hole or a big head. And that's assuming it doesn't immediately pick you up again right after putting you down. A lot of folks hate this thing, and I totally see why. Still, I like the Hidden, though. Maybe I just relate to being neurotic and specific and indecisive and invisible. But also being focused on whatever you're zoned in on and then being suddenly hoisted away by an unseeable dude with a breathing problem is such a unique feeling of annoyance. I don't know, I can't help kinda appreciating it. Okay, I'll edit myself back into the video now. I just want to get one more zoom in. Ready?
Okay, well, on to the third one. Who's up? Apex Predator?
Yep. That's the official name of this guy.
Huh.
At this point, I've just accepted that I'm not going to sell this game for anyone who doesn't already like it. Like, we just hit top 3, and we're starting with a goddamn duck. And I know y'all aren't stupid.
Aww.
You know better. You see this unassuming little guy and anticipate some sort of horrific surprise, and you're right. The horror game devs aren't about to give you a friendly duck with no caveats. I'm sorry, it's just not happening. But they still tapped into something. Something relatable. To pet owners specifically. If you've ever had a dog that wants you to throw a ball that's currently in their mouth without taking it, or a cat that wants you to pet them without touching them, then you get it. You understand the contradictory expectations of little corkscrew cock over here. Pretty much all the picking of items in this game is done via these little beams that shoot from your hand. They work almost like a weak version of the Garry's Mod physics gun. This beam wants your attention constantly. Like, bro is always jumping into your POV, but if anything touches him a little too hard, either an object or your little hand beam, he gets so upset about it. You ever had that one friend that gets pissed off and they grow like a million teeth and start biting everybody? Okay, that example is probably less relatable. Point is, when this guy shows up, you or one of your teammates has a little liability following them around now.
Oh god.
And there is a surprising amount of fun ways to handle him. My favorite solutions here are threefold. 1, tranquilize it and beat it to death. That's the violent option. 2, put a bucket over it. It'll still move around, but it won't do much. That's the fun and pacifist option.
That's pretty
3
good.
only works if you've gotten good at not petting it or smashing a $7,000 vase over its head.
Damn
that's to give it an intervention.
You just jump headlong into danger, and what happens? You hurt yourself. And what happens when you hurt yourself? You lash out. You lash out and you attack those around you. You blame everyone else and you push everyone away. The only one that's going to be left is you. And then you're going to push yourself away. That's right, run. Run from the truth.
Okay, so actually, if you just stand still and watch it for a little bit, eventually it will just run off. Okay, there you go. That's actually pretty good. Alright, silver medal. Huntsman. This guy's blind.
You geriatric motherfucker, disrespect your elders. The years have been cruel to you, and they should be crueler. You're a fountain of dog shit. Anyway, this is number 2 on the list. He's old and blind and fragile, and he's an ugly idiot, and
he uses a shotgun as a walking cane.
I hate him. The Huntsman has a simple concept. He's a guy with a rifle. He can't see, so he listens for people instead, and he fires in whatever direction he hears a noise from, dealing 100 damage to any player he hits. It's a cool idea because R.E.P.O is a very social game, and every time this guy shows up, communication just immediately breaks down, and everyone has to go hush until they're sure he's not around anymore. It's supposed to be quiet and intense. At least I'm pretty sure that's how he's supposed to work in theory, but I think how he actually works is that whenever you make a sound, he shoots me specifically. That's certainly how it feels most of the time. I don't even yap that much. I play this game with push to talk on. and yet I am always on the barrel end of that rifle.
come
I accidentally
on.
round him at a corner and gasp a little bit. I'm dead. My friends and I are talking in a room and no one's noticed him. I'm dead.
Okay, that
You gotta
sucks.
be fucking kidding me, bro.
It feels so damn targeted every
Kind
time.
of does.
You literally breathed and he shot you.
Yeah, I hate
Exist.
I've learned to fight back, though. I've made myself learn. I will push him into a pit. I will beat him to the ground. I
There
will
you
blow
go.
him up with a clown bomb. Whatever it takes. There's no two ways about it anymore. If he shows up, he's dying or I am. And that's just
Or
how
both.
it works now. And that's why my shitty, stupid brain that likes making enemies can't help appreciating him somehow. If this were worst R.E.P.O monsters, he'd be number 1 by a lot. But paradoxically, he's also one of the best because no other monster could make me hate them so thoroughly. Every
You love
rifle
'em, you
shot
hate
that
'em.
kills me now is a devastating dagger to my heart, and every kill I get is a proud badge of honor. It's the most begrudging second place I've ever given, but it's earned because I hate you. It's also the only thing you get, though, because, again, I hate you.
Okay. Gold
Before
medal.
we get into number 1, though, some honorable mentions.
Angels.
This game has 2 kinds of little tiny dudes that come in groups. The gnomes are obnoxious and they suck, but the bangers are fun, and they can be used as little
Ooh,
mini grenades. This guy looks
Clown.
dumb, but he's kind of scary and has a big laser, which is cool.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
not as cool as my laser, though.
That was nice.
The clown. Very
Headman.
dangerous and sort of scary, but also kind of just a generic chase enemy.
Ow, damn.
This
Bow
thing looks
tie?
like if the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was designed by the people who made Ban Ban. Still, it's a decently threatening creature, albeit one whose presence is very loudly telegraphed. Closest
People.
thing this game has to a jump scare, and it works decently well for what it is. Now for number 1.
Yeah, okay. Gold medal goes to...
All rivalries aside, number 1 was settled pretty immediately. Sometimes picking the best is difficult, and sometimes the chips just fall where they do. It's like basic arithmetic. Cool design,
Right.
plus actually kind of scary, plus creative gameplay, plus not infuriating, equals Wambu's favorite, equals the robe.
The robe. Ooh, okay.
It feels really nice to just unilaterally love one of these guys without any other caveats. I put an invisible mouth-breathing pervert on the list earlier. Remember
Yeah, you
that?
put him at
What the
4.
rogue lacks in a creative name, it makes up for by being pretty handily the scariest monster in the game. If you don't know how the robe works, then it's a very tough creature to predict. And if
Ooh.
you do know how it works, then having it around is still pretty intense. Basically, it
the hell
wanders
is
in
it?
silence until it picks a player to stalk. It'll slowly follow that player until it either catches up or eventually despawns. Should it catch up to the player, or should any other player or item get in its way,
Oh,
it'll
God.
let out a big ol' scream and then attack for a lot of damage. And should
was
the player
creepy.
it's stalking look directly at it, it'll quickly charge at them until the player stops, either through turning away or by dying. Hiding doesn't generally work that well because it can actually attack under objects like tables and
Oh,
such.
sweet
But yeah,
Jesus.
it's one of those don't look at me types, you know, your Gorgons, your Basilisks, your Shy Guys, your Hook Dolls. If you looked at all these images, then you're super cooked.
Yeah,
Generally,
thanks a
the
lot.
counterplay for Robe, though, assuming you don't have a big laser or any other weapon, is to just
Laser.
turn away. You walk faster than it moves, so you can usually outpace it. Still, there's this unnerving tension in knowing it's around you. Like you have to track it without looking at it too
creepy.
much. Like, is it following you? Because if so, dead ends are no longer safe. Is it following someone else? Because if so, it might ambush the whole group. Did it despawn? Because then you're safe, but it could still show up again. In this footage, for example,
you
my
never know.
friends and I are evacuating the museum. I encounter a robe and barely manage to avoid its attack, which I would not have survived.
Oh,
I
God.
make my way back to the escape truck, knowing that if it follows me all the way there, I'm certainly dead. Thankfully, by the time I get into hiding to wait for my friends, it's no longer on me, and I escape with my buddies. Only to
Thank
have
Jesus.
confirmed by a spectating friend that the robe was actually following me the whole way back to the truck, and only turned around right at the very end. If I had turned around or stopped to hide for whatever reason, I was most likely cooked. And that's the sort of thing
you were
that
gonna
easily
die.
puts Robe at the top. Its presence is unnerving and dangerous, but the counterplay isn't to hide and wait. It's to keep going
Yeah.
with more efficiency and awareness and
You gotta pull Dory. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just
mindfulness.
get the
and
hell
big
away from me.
laser. It solves everything, I'm telling you. And that's R.E.P.O. For each of these videos, I'm gonna do a little thing where I give kind of a final thoughts on the game as a whole. And with R.E.P.O, there's a reason I wanted to start with it. Obviously, it is the current, most relevant game of the trio.
Damn it!
But it's
No!
also the one with probably the weakest selection of individual monsters here. With the exception of the robe, nearly all the monsters here are kind of lacking in scariness or dangerousness or dignity. But I don't totally think that's to the detriment of R.E.P.O as a whole. Like, these are horror games, sure, but they're also comedy games, and R.E.P.O is silly as hell. Like, it's a game where you and your friends play as googly-eyed receptacle bots. It was only ever gonna have a certain threshold of scariness. More than that, though, I think the monsters in the game work better as a cohesive whole rather than as individuals.
Why would you throw
that?
The
enemies here are somewhat minor in function, but still take advantage of the mechanics R.E.P.O has to offer, like the gnomes and bangers needing to be dispatched with the physics gun in hand, or enemies like the hidden and the upscream being able to ragdoll you. For someone like me, who loves to put individual parts in arbitrary competition with each other, it makes for a video that can maybe feel a bit sheepish in tone, but in the end, these very dumb monsters do come together to create a very solid core. In other words, R.E.P.O and its selection of baddies are better than the sum of their parts. Of course, they would be even better than the better sum of their parts if it weren't for this motherfucker.
Damn, he really did not like the huntsman. Alright, but that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of you next time when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.